I always say this, man, the good, the bad, and the ugly zitatokea when you get a kid, right? Sasa, insecurities are going to crop up. We all have insecurities, of course, all of us. But now when you get a kid, first of all, the insecurity starts from number one, am I ready? And me, I experienced that myself, But then when is ready, really, ever? Are you ever ready, to be honest? So this is one of the first songs that I wrote for my son, and it happened when I was spending time with him in the morning after taking him from the mom at night. So that stage when he wakes up every 2 hours, right? And the mom is completely exhausted because all he wants is boob. So the mom is completely exhausted. So I take him away from her like at 5:30, 6 in the morning, and just chill with him in the living room, and I'd play him this song that I'm about to perform called La La Land.
Shining like the evening star, Mugisha, ukitabasamu unachachisha, yeah. Mugisha, you're the definition of love, 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 love. Mugisha, don't forget who you are.
So insecurities, man, are a big part of just shaping up the kind of parent you will be. And sometimes insecurities are not necessarily a bad thing, to be honest, because insecurities now make you get out of your shell, make you become a better person overall, a better human being, a better friend, a better father, if you tackle them the way, if you tackle them nicely, if you tackle them well.
When my baby was 2 weeks old, and I think we were dad at the same time, and used to talk a lot. And I thought I had the template, which Wouters told me there's no template, by the way.
No,
there's no template. So my kid choked on her own mucus.
Yeah.
And I just left to go and get like formula for her because the mom wasn't having milk. And I was going to get, I don't remember the other thing. I just remember the neighbor calling me and I could hear my wife crying in the background. So when I came back, they had done first aid, but the baby was still not well breathed. So I took her, she opened her eyes, looked at me, and then she closed her eyes and then started turning purple. Like there's no oxygen going through. So luckily, we live next to Nairobi Hospital, so we just drove. But on the way, I could hear God telling me, it's not the last time you've seen your daughter. It's not the last time. And my wife was asking me, is she okay? I'm like, anajaribu, but I can see she's literally turning purple.
Yeah.
But when you go to the hospital, they did their thing, and she chomoed all the mucus. But what am I trying to say is that after that event, everything or every confidence we had built into the 9 months went.
Yeah.
So my wife didn't leave the bedroom for 2 months. Like she could literally come out and be like, it's too cold, my baby's gonna get mucus, she goes back. It's like she's gonna choke again.
Yeah.
And the weird thing, after she choked, like on a Sato, the next Sato, she choked again. Jeez. But this time, I had seen so many YouTube videos and the doctors told me what to do. So I just gongada and...
Mucus came out.
So it was bad. But that helplessness made us, for like 3 months, not knowing what to do. And I really didn't want to go back home. I used to come to the gym. I used to stay here. I don't know Wouter if you remember. I used to be here until even 12. Because when I go home, my wife doesn't want me to touch the baby because she's like, nobody knows. I'm the only one who knows the little that I know. and that helplessness kills you.
Yeah, man.
As a dude, you even feel like this wife doesn't love me. If she doesn't trust me with our own child,
Yeah.
then I'm literally useless.
Yeah.
And I guess the times that you pick your baby and she continues crying and you don't know what to do.
You know you're the problem.
You think you're the problem. I think what gives the baby more hope is the calmness you have. And it's like they can feel it.
Yes.
So that's why even if your voice is as hoarse as mine, she still appreciates it every time. But it's that calmness that comes with that, I don't have a template.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's the host
But
voice.
yeah, some way, if I've reached today and she slept and she's woken up, she's eaten. I'm saying she because I have a girl.
Yeah.
It's it's the next day. So even if you talk about lullabies, the lullabies change. Today is a lullaby for sleeping, tomorrow is a lullaby for eating. Tomorrow is a lullaby to your own wife that you're still a good mom. If the baby falls down, it's not your fault. If the baby chokes, it's not your fault.
Yeah.
And I think maybe I've answered your question, but that's from my experience.
I remember, I know that I was super insecure, or I was asking myself this question, before ever even thinking about having kids. I was basically, who am I? Who am I to put a kid in this world and to really, see him grow up or her grow up from very young and then welcome into this world that we are basically screwing up as parents. We are destroying the nature. We are destroying there's a lot of things that are not necessarily heading in the right direction. Just asking myself that question, why was I, or why were we so important, or how? No, I don't know how to put it. Why were we arrogant enough to think that our kid is going to have a great time here? Honestly, and that is a question that I've been asking myself, and I still do. And this insecurity, I guess, that everybody feels as a young parent, it will only get worse, to be honest.
Yeah.
But more beautiful. But more beautiful. I just said this, and that's an insecurity that you can have. You can have an insecurity about why is this kid not going to sleep, or what's wrong? Why is it crying? And then you realize it's probably sleep or food or whatever, something like that.
Yeah.
And then years down the line, your kid is crying because of insecurity, something, and then you go hey. I remember you were crying, and then put some food in your mouth, and then everything was okay. And now all of a sudden you're insecure, and now I have to explain to you how feelings work and how rejection works and all of that. So, but the funny thing is that like Beth said, along the way you do understand your role a little bit better, and while you stay super insecure throughout. There's certain things where you go yo, everybody out of the way. I got this. This is me. This is the bond that I have with my kid. I'm the only right person to solve this problem, right? And I think that's kind of where at some point where you find your destiny. Well, your destiny. I don't your role. You really feel okay,
Purpose.
fine. That's. Maybe I was struggling a bit when they were so vulnerable, or when they were so young, and there were so many things that I couldn't really handle. I didn't have that connection, but now the connection is there, and now things happen, and you go okay,
I know how
this
to
is
handle this.
mom their mom cannot fix this. Their whatever friends cannot fix this. This is a role that
Of the dad.
you have and that you should also take. And then all of a sudden, I think you find that fulfillment, and you find your purpose, and then you find that, okay, this is exactly what I was supposed to feel, or this is exactly what I kind of what I'm here for, right?
Yeah.
So, what we heard earlier is like that your bond is growing and that like you grow into it and that people are still insecure. It's all true, but it will make sense at some point, I think.
Okay. My fellow men, these things, I mean, we're all learning from each other, of course. No one here is like the SI unit. No one is perfect. We all doing this to learn from each other, right? And my take is that these things help you if you look at them from this perspective of making you a better human being, making you a better dad, a better man. Then these things actually build you. You know, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. I know it's cliche, people say it, but it's the truth. Insecurities honestly make you a much better person if you channel them in that direction, you know. So seek help also if you need any help. This forum also that you're watching right now is just about men connecting with each other because we're going through the same. At least we can relate. And even just talking to another man about your insecurity goes a long way. Maybe they'll say something small that to them is a by the way, but to you is actually the solution that you need, you know. So let's just keep being very close to each other as men. Let's talk to each other. Let's look out for each other. Let's celebrate each other.